Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the exciting new feature of Fallout London's character customization, traits. That's right, when you're exploring the gritty streets and creepy underground stations of this post-apocalyptic London, you'll need to choose 2 out of 12 unique traits to supercharge your gameplay. But here's the twist. Each trait not only boosts your skills, but also comes with its own set of drawbacks, making the choice a bit of a gamble. So, if you're wondering which traits are worth their weight in London currency and which ones might just land you in a sticky situation, stick around. I've put together a handy tier list to break down the good, the bad, and the downright ugly of each trait. Whether you're gearing up for exploration, combat, or just trying to navigate the eerie depths of the underground, this guide will help you make the most of your choices and ensure you're always prepared to mind the gap. Let's jump in and find out which traits will give you the upper hand and which ones you might want to steer clear of. I'm quickly moving on to the video and I'm ranking traits in Fallout London. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
My friends, only 0.1% of viewers subscribe. If you like this type of content, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you in advance for your support.
The traits in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, numbskull and claustrophobic. Alright, let's dive into some of the D tier traits in Fallout London, and boy are these traits a mixed bag. First up, we've got numbskull. Now, don't get me wrong, the +1 to strength, endurance, and luck is nice, but the trade-off is brutal. With this trait, your intelligence is locked at a max of 3. This means you're basically stuck in a world where your intelligence can't get any better, which isn't just a small setback. It's a massive barrier to certain builds and gameplay styles. Plus, it means you'll struggle to use or even modify weapons you find in your adventures. Talk about a deal breaker. Next on our list is claustrophobic. This one's a real kicker because it impacts your special stats when you're exploring indoors. With a -1 penalty to all stats when you're inside, it's like playing with one hand tied behind your back. Sure, you get a +1 bonus to your stats when you're outside, but let's be honest, Fallout London is all about those dank, dark underground stations and creepy vaults. You're going to be spending a lot of time indoors, so this trait can seriously hinder your performance in combat and exploration. These traits might sound a bit harsh, but they're there to balance the game and give you something to think about when choosing your character's perks. While they might not be the best choices for your playthrough, understanding their drawbacks helps you make more informed decisions. So, keep these in mind as you plan your adventure through London's wasteland. That's a wrap on our dive into the D tier traits. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Fallout London insights and gameplay tips. The traits in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Sleepwalker, Gifted, and Night Owl. Alright, let's dive into some of the traits you'll encounter in Fallout London, specifically those hanging out in the C tier. These traits might not be game changers, but they add a unique twist to your gameplay that could either be a fun gimmick or a subtle boost. First up, we have Sleepwalker. This trait might sound a bit quirky, but it's actually pretty interesting. Imagine going to sleep and waking up in random, mysterious locations. It's like adding a mini adventure to your nightly rest. While it doesn't give you any direct benefits or debuffs, it does introduce a bit of unpredictability into your gameplay. You might stumble upon new places and secrets in Fallout London, making each sleep a potential journey. It's more about the fun and exploration than any tangible advantage. Next, let's talk about Gifted. At first glance, this trait looks like it's got a lot going for it. +6 to all your stats sounds pretty impressive, right? However, there's a catch. You'll lose 15% of your XP gains, which can be a bit of a downer. This means that leveling up takes longer. So while you're getting a boost in stats, you're also hitting a bit of a snag in your XP progression. It's great early on when every bit helps, but later in the game, that XP penalty might slow you down more than you'd like. Then there's Night Owl. If you're someone who loves the night, this trait could be right up your alley. It gives you a +1 boost to intelligence and perception during nighttime. Sounds perfect, right? Well, there's a flip side. During the day, you'll be at a disadvantage. So, if you're planning to explore Fallout, London's new sunlit environments, you might find yourself a bit lacking in the daylight. It's definitely a trade-off. Do you stick to the night and gain those buffs? Or do you miss out on some of the daytime beauty of this new world? In summary, C-tier traits in Fallout London bring a touch of fun and uniqueness to your gameplay, but they won't dramatically change the game. Sleepwalker is perfect for those who enjoy a bit of mystery and exploration. Gifted is great if you can handle the XP trade-off, and Night Owl is ideal if you prefer the night. Each has its own flavor, and while they might not be game breaking, they definitely add some character to your adventures. So, what do you think? Will you be embracing these traits in your next playthrough, or are they more of a curious side note? Let me know in the comments. The traits in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Chemhead, Four Eyes, Heavy-Handed, and Puritan. Alright, let's dive into the B tier traits for Fallout London. These traits have their perks and can shine under the right circumstances, but they come with some specific limitations. Think of them as those cool gadgets that can make or break your build depending on how you use them. So let's break down what makes these traits tick. First up, we've got the Four Eyes trait. Now, this one's a bit of a mixed bag. You get a tiny +1 boost to perception, which is handy if you're into stealth or long-range builds. However, there's a catch. You lose -1 to perception if you remove it, and it prevents you from wearing protective helmets or other accessories that might offer better bonuses. It's like having a little cheat code for a specific build, but the trade-off is a significant hit to your versatility. If you're okay with this trade-off and don't need to switch up your gear often, it could work in your favor. Moving on to Chemhead. This trait is a dream come true for players who love their chems. It makes them last 4 times longer, which is a massive advantage if you're deep into chem usage. However, there's a downside. If you're not under the influence of chems, you'll take a -1 hit to your special stats. If you're not planning on using chems frequently, this penalty can be a real drag. Plus, relying on chems too much might lead to addiction and withdrawal, which could negate the benefits. Just be sure to have some Addictor handy if you go this route. Next up, we have Heavy-Handed. If you're all about melee combat, this trait can be a real game changer. It gives a 20% boost to melee and unarmed damage, making your hits pack a punch. The downside? It renders power attacks useless. But if you're not into power attacks and prefer fast strikes, this trait can be a huge boon. It's a bit of a gamble if you do like power attacks, but for those who live by the blade, it's a solid pick. Last but not least is Puritan. This trait is perfect for players who want to bulk up their strength and endurance stats. It gives you +1 to both stats and more HP, but only if you stay away from chemicals. If you're okay with not using chems, this trait is great for a tanky build. You'll have better survivability and increased carry capacity, making it easier to lug around heavy armor and items. Plus, you can still use healing items like Stimpaks and Radaway, so you're not left high and dry if you need to recover from injuries or radiation. So, there you have it. These B tier traits can definitely hold their own, but their effectiveness really depends on how you build your character and how you play the game. Whether you're looking to boost your melee damage, extend your chem effects, or become a tanky juggernaut, these traits offer some unique advantages. Just remember to weigh the pros and cons based on your playstyle, and you'll be set for success in Fallout London. The traits in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Acrobat and Kamikaze. Alright, let's dive into the A tier traits in Fallout London. If you're looking for traits that can seriously enhance your gameplay, these are the ones to focus on. They offer powerful bonuses and are incredibly versatile, fitting into various playstyles. First up is the Acrobat trait. This one is fantastic for players who like to stay on their feet and keep moving. With a +10% increase in movement speed, you'll find yourself darting around the battlefield like a pro. This boost is especially handy if you're wielding melee weapons. The quicker you can move, the easier it is to dodge enemy attacks and close the distance. Sure, the decrease in carry capacity might seem like a hassle, but it's not a deal breaker. You can always offload some of that extra weight at your base or use your companion's inventory to manage your stuff more effectively. Next, we have Kamikaze. Now, this trait is a bit of a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it gives you a significant boost in weapon damage intake by 20%, which sounds amazing, right? But here's the kicker, it also means you'll be taking more damage in return. This trait is perfect for those of you who are experienced with Fallout's combat system and have honed your skills in stealth or long-ranged combat. If you're using firearms, this trait can be a game changer, as replenishing your action points is crucial for staying effective in combat. So, if you're a sniper or someone who excels at keeping enemies at a distance, the increased damage intake might not be as big of a threat. Remember, both traits in the A tier can significantly boost your gameplay, but they cater to different styles. Whether you're zipping around with Acrobat or dealing heavy damage with Kamikaze, these traits offer powerful advantages that can make your adventures in Fallout London even more thrilling. The traits in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Hoarder. Alright, let's dive into the world of Fallout London and talk about one trait that's truly in a league of its own, Hoarder. This trait is the creme de la creme of S tier options, and for good reason. With Hoarder, you get an incredible boost to your carry capacity, which means you can hold on to all those precious items without breaking a sweat. Whether it's heavy weapons or bulky armor, you can lug it all around without having to constantly juggle your inventory. Sure, being encumbered does slow you down, but trust me, it's a small price to pay for the convenience of keeping everything you find. And here's the best part. Hoarder is so versatile that it fits into pretty much any build you can imagine. It's like having a superpower that lets you keep everything you want and never have to worry about letting go of that rare loot or essential gear. Once you've got Hoarder under your belt, you can focus on picking a secondary trait that complements your unique playstyle. It's a game changer, and if you're looking to maximize your efficiency in Fallout London, this trait should be at the top of your list. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.